Get it out?
No. Oh. So
I guess I'm not.
see, there was a
That's all. Beach,
So it's time to.
yeah, Beach rolled his ankle today at work, and
Yeah.
see what happens to him. They end up in a cast or not, I don't know. He pulled a U.
Yeah. Well, that can hurt. It hurts to be me. She's making a new copy for everybody because I don't know what.
I'm gonna open this one here.
First is the budget.
Who's presenting?
Me.
Okay,
I'm just going to read my budget transmittal letter.
2, 4, 5, all right, we're got a quorum, so. Okay, this being the duly set time for an official public hearing, Tuesday, June 7th, 2022, council chambers, 6 p.m. I would ask the clerk, please call the roll. You don't need to call it for a public hearing. Well, and we will go ahead and open this public hearing. This public hearing will be presenting, city manager will be presenting the 2023 budget. You may proceed.
Thank you. So it's my pleasure to present the preliminary fiscal year 2023 budget. Pursuant to the charter, the budget must be presented to and approved by the council no later than the second Monday in July. The budget does not include the Hannibal Free Public Library or the Hannibal Board of Public Works, as they operate independently and autonomously. The entire staff worked hard to prepare a transparent budget, that is, revenue and expenditure line items are disclosed in a format which shows revenue and expenditures by department. The budget process for this year has some unprecedented challenges with the after effects of the novel coronavirus outbreak and the uncertainty as to the implications regarding supply chain issues, inflation, and the continuing impact on economy from the pandemic. With these unknowns, we are budgeting for the general fund to have a slight increase over previous year estimated revenues. The budgetary number of the ending fund balance is inflated by the airport grant for a project by nearly $578,000 that we had received the grant for last year and are rolling over. And anticipated ARPA funding of $1,750,000. $1,750,000. The actual estimated increase in ongoing revenue does not keep up with the cost of inflation and the increase in operating expenses. Items of note include Park Fund will be spending down reserve funds on multiple capital projects this year after a conservative fiscal year 2022. General fund, due to projected revenues growing at below inflation rate, we have had anomalies that have resulted in difficulties in projecting revenue, beginning with 2019's record flooding and 2020's beginning of the COVID pandemic, which has contributed to supply chain issues and inflation. ARPA funding, the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021 provided for 2 tranches of funding separated by 1 year to be used under specific guidelines, or alternatively by choosing to select the standard allowance for lost revenue. This budget reflects the utilization of the standard allowance under the final rule and will allow for streamlined reporting requirements. Due to the 2019 spring flood and the declaration, emergency declaration for flood relief, we have been working on supplying necessary documents for reimbursement from FEMA. The city remains hopeful that in this next fiscal year we may receive some of the FEMA-SEMA reimbursements. General fund capital projects, ARP has a copier, scanner, printer that was held over in the amount of $8,000. HVAC, building repair for City Hall. We're hoping to be able to revamp the HVAC system, so we have 660,000 in that line item. And landfill treatment plant, to keep the leachate ponds from overfilling, we have a $975,000 amount in that. DPW equipment, $9,000, and airport replacement runway lights, $604,000. So, staff has and will continue working very hard to maximize funds with the utilization of grants. To date, the city has received notice of approval of the following grants, donations, and funding awards in the last year. Over $96,000 in the final payout for the Palmyra Road Sidewalk Project, $125,000 from Marion County 911, $75,000 from Rawls County 911, and $228,000 in USDA grant funds for the Moswin radio replacements for the first responders, and the $1.7 million in ARPA funding, with a second tranche expected in the next fiscal year budget. We will continue to actively seek out any and all potentially valuable funding to offset cost when possible. I am pleased to submit the 2013 budget for consideration and review, and would like to thank all the department heads for their assistance, and would like to express my appreciation to Bianca Quinn, Andy Dorian, and Phyllis Nelson for their contributions in pulling the budget together. There are a lot of positive things happening in Hannibal, including progress on the demolition of derelict housing, the first dockings of Viking Cruise Lines, and the passage of the sales tax initiative, which will provide funds to remedy some of the failing infrastructure over the next few years. I believe in this community, and I'm proud to be a part of the staff. So, with that, nothing changed, with the exception of Phyllis's office adjustments since the budget workshop, and that's what I have to present. If there's any questions or comments.
Questions by members of the council? Time to review.
Not for review. Public.
Is there anyone here in the public who wishes to speak regarding the budget? No other discussions at this point. I would ask for a motion to adjourn this public hearing.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. We'll close this public hearing and start another one in about 7 minutes.
I've got some. I've
Okay, it's now 6:15, the official public hearing. City Hall, second floor, council chambers. Members present to constitute a quorum. I will call this public hearing to order. Item we have before us now is public hearing, reference a code amendment revising Chapter 9, Article 4, Section 9-189, project classifications and fees. Go ahead.
Yes, so the code amendment that is before you tonight for the public hearing is to change the fees. So in the old fees, less than 25 acres was $100, 25 to 200 acres was $200, and over 200 acres was $400. That did not cover the cost to the city for having the stormwater plans reviewed. So the proposed change is less than 1 acre would be $200, 1 to 3 acres would be $350, and over 5 acres would be $500. This only comes into play when there are stormwater runoff management plans that would need to be reviewed. And with that, I will entertain.
Questions by the council?
Can you go over those acreage totals just one more time?
Which ones? Both?
Yeah.
Okay. So less than 25 acres, the current fee is less than 25 acres, 100. 25 to 200 acres is $200, and over 200 acres is $400. Proposed is less than 1 acre is $200, 1 to 3 acres is $350, and over 3 acres is $500. And again, that covers the cost to the city for having the plans reviewed. It's revenue neutral.
Neutral. Any other questions regarding this?
Whereas right now we're
Losing money at this point. Is there anyone from the public who wishes to comment or have any feedback on this proposal? Hearing none. No other questions by council. I'll go ahead and call this public hearing to a close. And we'll commence a third public hearing at 6:30 in another 14 minutes.
I did that one.
Yeah, you did that one quick.
All right, 2 more.
2 more.
just
Oh,
say
you're
that
presenting for her.
I can?
Just, yeah, just to read
Okay,
through it.
okay.
That'll work.
I just wanted to know before we got there what we were doing.
Sure. Yes? Okay. This is the official public hearing, 6:30 PM, second floor, council chambers, City Hall, June 7th, 2022. Purpose of this public hearing is the code amendment revising Chapter 28, Article 3, Construction, Maintenance, and Improvements, Section 28-105, specifications for sidewalks and residential districts. City manager, proceed.
So this code amendment strikes the portion of the code where it reads, on all sidewalks in residential districts of the city where the width of the sidewalks has been fixed by ordinance at more than 4 feet, the paved portion of the sidewalk may be 4 feet wide, provided, however, that the inner edge of the paved portion or the edge nearest the building line of the property along or in front of which sidewalk is constructed shall be at least and not greater than 1 foot and from the building line. So the rest of the section will stay intact. It is just that portion that will be struck from the code, if anyone has any questions.
This is all new construction?
No, this is actually in, it would be in any residential districts. Most of it appears to be kind of in the older area of town, but the portion that will be struck is that it has to be 1 foot from the building line. Sidewalks will still be necessary, they just don't have to be 1 foot exactly from the building line anymore.
They don't have to be.
Right, this portion, it says shall be at least and not greater than 1 foot from the building line. So that's the main part that we're taking out, so that it's not like right up, it's not necessary for it to be right up on the building line.
Probably something back from the early 19th.
Yeah.
Easy. That's helpful.
There's a line in a movie, and it reads like stereo instructions, and this is literally, can't quite figure out exactly what they were talking about. That's a good one to strike.
Any other comments on the council? Okay. Members in attendance who wish to speak. Mark, did you have any comments on this?
I would say it just definitely used for so yeah, now I would say
And it does not negate the need for sidewalks anywhere.
Right.
Any other discussion? Okay. Hearing none, I'll go ahead and call this public hearing to adjournment, and we'll start a final public hearing at 6:45.
So,
Just cleaning up. That's the thing. You read through these things, and if you've got to read it like 5 times just to understand exactly direction. Awesome.
45.
Okay, this is the official public hearing, 6:45, Council Chambers, second floor, City Hall, Tuesday, June 7th, 2022. Purpose of this public hearing is for code amendment revising Chapter 9, Article 4, Storm Runoff Management, Section 9-187, Stormwater Management Required for all development. City Manager?
Yes, so this final code amendment to Section 9-187 of the Stormwater Runoff Management section of the code simply deletes the following. Only the Planning and Zoning Commission may waive the stormwater management requirement. So for all of the rest of the section, the city engineer is able to make determinations. And so it's not consistent, nor does it make much sense to make the Planning and Zoning Commission, who will be relying on the advice of the city engineer anyway, to be the ones to make that final determination, and it could end up costing time in projects.
Council, is there any questions regarding this proposal? None. Anyone in attendance wish to speak for or against, or have any thoughts on this presentation of this revision? And no one comes forward. Therefore, we'll close this public hearing and reconvene for the regularly scheduled council meeting at 7 p.m.
Gary come at the end of the summer to ask you guys
Our only issue is.
I'd rather have none than to promise people you'd have something.
we have no pay.
I don't get it. I mean, I get 100%.
Okay, but I just thought I'd let you.
No, I appreciate that. That's interesting. I mean, because we get that frequently.
He's ready.
Okay, good evening, everyone. This is the City of Hannibal official council agenda, Tuesday, June 7th, 2022, council chamber, 7 p.m. I would ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Council members Phillips. Here. Welch. Here. Beach. McCoy.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Dobson.
Here.
Council members Bronke. And Mayor Hart.
Here. Okay, there being a quorum present, I will call this meeting to order. Mayor Pro Tem Dobson, would you do the invocation?
Glorious God, you promised to open the doors of blessing and abundance for your people. We ask that you would work mightily in us today. Come upon us and cause us to have a productive meeting. Lead each one of us so that we can make fruitful contributions at this time. Enable us to think and strategize in ways that will achieve great results. Purify our thoughts and motives so that each one of us will enter into this meeting desiring the good of others and the pleasure of your name. Also, thank you, Lord, for watching our first responders today at a major incident in the city.
I would ask members of the Hannibal Police Department to please pledge.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Council, at this time, I would ask for a motion to excuse Councilman Veach. He injured himself at work today and is unable to physically make it.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. Now requesting a motion to approve the agenda as it has been posted this Tuesday, June 7th, 2022.
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion's carried. Council, I'm now seeking motion to approve the payroll and claims for the second half of May 2022.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion over payroll and claims? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion's carried.
Mayor, please.
Do the minutes?
No. Not yet. Right.
Okay.
Just testing you.
Not prepared. Okay. First item on the agenda this evening, Doug Colbert, Homesteading Life Conference. Good evening, sir.
Howdy.
How are you tonight?
Fine, thanks.
Great. Okay. Mr. Colbert, it appears you're here on behalf of the Homesteading Life Conference, requesting some road closures. Looks like on Sunday, August 7th through Monday, August 8th, 5 a.m. to 7 p.m. Main and Church, Main and Lion Street to Bridge.
Yeah. I even drew a map for you.
And even drew a map.
Nice.
That,
Have enough copies for
and
all
there,
of us?
oh, and there's actually a map here in the there's actually a map here in the file as well. Council, just for your information, doesn't appear that there's going to be any extra involvement involving law enforcement at this time. All other members of the departments have indicated there's no issues or conflicts. According to the clerk, everything's in order for this to proceed just based on council's approval. Is that correct? Correct. Do you have any questions?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second to approve. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
So
That's
so
it.
we got, are you gonna drop everything off like last 5 years or, well, 4 years? Missed it once.
Andy, during
We
the
have
central
one
service.
more intersection now, right? So last time we just had the 2, now we have the 3. Okay, no problem.
It seems that they're ready to go for you.
That's it.
All right.
Have a good night.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is Mayor Pro Tem Michael Dobson. You have some information.
We had previously looked to set a public hearing in relationship to the viaduct. And on May 23rd, the city manager and myself met with 5 MoDOT officials to fact find plans of the proposed 3rd Street Viaduct project. And in the meeting, we discovered that MoDOT will seek from the city council permanent right-of-way requests for the area around the proposed viaduct to give them the right to work on and maintain the new viaduct. And the following information was supplied from MoDOT. They're not to turn in their final plans to the state agency, the state part of MoDOT, until the first week of July. That's to be finalizing their plans and turning it into the state by then. Bids will be let for the project in September. Overhead clearances for Warren Barrett Drive will be 15 feet 6 inches, so that had been in question. Information exchanges are still underway with the JCs and Jack's Harbor Marine. MoDOT will conduct a public meeting in late July once the plans are approved. And big impacts to the traffic patterns will begin somewhere in February to March of 2023. And then the city concerns expressed was the South Main Street bridge has an 80,000-pound weight limit, and it was not known when the last time the bridge was inspected. So if the inspection is not current, MoDOT will conduct inspections and evaluations of such bridge before construction begins, allowing time for repairs if necessary. And then concerns were also expressed, street storm conveyances, understreet stormwater conveyances will support the increased vehicular traffic, and that's something that we'll speak with the Board of Public Works on. So it doesn't make much sense for the city to have a public hearing for a project that's not ours. So it's my contention that they should not proceed with one. And of course, we would be advised when MoDOT will have theirs, and we could be a part of that.
Council, any questions on this at this time?
I think if we had the public hearing that we scheduled for, it's a special call meeting, and I think it would give all the citizens an opportunity to express to us their concerns, and that way we could pass them along later on, because, you know, a MoDOT public hearing or public meeting might not gather the response from our citizens.
I interpreted it to be an open forum, such as we did the riverfront, to where people can come in casually, express their concerns. It's not anything that we can do as city council. It's not our project.
Mayor.
Yes.
I kind of started this excitement. Since then, MoDOT did reach out to me, and I had I had looked at their right-of-way request, which they had sent to us, and that was my original concern. Since then, they asked me, well, what would you like to see? So I proposed to them some language that would certainly make me feel better about making sure that we keep Warren Barrett open, some language regarding clearances, et cetera, et cetera. It took them a while to get back to me. They did respond to me yesterday afternoon, and they did provide me with most of what I asked for. They anytime you deal with the government, they're going to change it up a little bit. They did modify it some. I've reviewed it. I did do a memo on that, which I sent to the clerk's office this afternoon, actually, I guess probably this evening.
35.
Just I would say just a little before I headed this direction. So you guys have not seen it yet, but I have done a memo on that. So I guess what I'd suggest is maybe before you do anything further on public meetings, take a look at what they propose. They've attempted, I think, to address most of the concerns I had. I'm not telling you not to have a public meeting, but I am saying they have responded some, and I did a memo on it for you guys, and you should have it tomorrow or the next day, I would bet, so.
I think we did that special call meeting because we were up against some deadline, but now if we have time, if it's your pleasure, I'd be okay with what Councilman Dobson said. Let's just scrap it for now, review what the city attorney sends out, and then if we still have concerns, we can do it before the next scheduled council meeting, or, you know what I mean, instead of a special call meeting.
I personally don't see any problem having another public hearing. I know it puts a little more on our schedule, but so be it. I just kind of want everyone of the citizens that we represent to have a voice, and if they can come to us and we can pass that voice along through James or however.
I guess I would counter with, we had 4 public hearings tonight and heard from the public none.
Right. The issues tonight wouldn't directly affect the community as a whole. So
I don't think that 2 meetings is excessive, especially with people's schedules, busies. We have a COVID season. I don't think that a mere 2 open sessions is too many.
I guess my point is, we have no information to offer the public.
Could I make one further suggestion? Since I've got this memo, the highway department is requesting that the city go ahead and grant this right of way. Could you all set a public hearing, set a brief public hearing before the next council meeting, give people an opportunity to come and be heard if they want to be heard, put that on the agenda. If you guys hear stuff you are concerned about, you don't have to vote on it that night, but if nobody comes in with concerns or everybody says, okay, that's all fine, everybody would have the right of way to look at it, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, what if you set a public hearing at like 6:30 before the next council meeting, and if people have concerns, they can look at it then.
I think it's acceptable.
I think that's a good compromise.
decent.
So I would put that in the form of a motion that we cancel the prior scheduled public hearing and set it for 6:30 before our next regularly scheduled meeting to talk about the 3rd Street viaduct.
Okay.
Don't listen to me, Mayor. I don't know until somebody tells me to show up.
Wait a minute, look at this. So efficient, which would be, so your motion would be for June 21st at 6:30, is that correct,
I
Council?
believe that's what I said.
Okay, is there a second?
Sure, I'll second.
Before the next council meeting, just prior to the next council meeting, June 21st, 2022. There's a second. That would be setting a public hearing for reviewing this for the public to attend, and also will have James's memo and know the right-of-way request, be able to pass along to anyone at the public hearing. So 6:30 p.m., June 21st, here at the council chambers. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Councilmembers Phillips,
Yes.
Welch,
No.
McCoy,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Dobson,
Yes.
and Mayor Hart.
Yes.
Motion carries.
That public hearing is set, and that'll be advertised so the public will know about that. It's James' system. James, you be able to assist us. Public information.
Yeah, Mayor, I just didn't get it done this evening. I was also going to do a resolution and send that to Angel at the same time, but since I had my memo done, I went ahead and sent it, but I ran out of time before I needed to come here.
Okay.
Will you be attending that public hearing?
Yes, he will.
Yes, Mayor Pro Tem, I will be there.
Yes, you will. Yeah, I knew that. Okay. Moving on, next item on the agenda is Megan Rapp, Director of HCVB. She will not be present, it says.
I can
You will
briefly,
go over this, all right.
So, the Hannibal Convention and Visitors Bureau would like to request approval to submit a grant application to the Missouri Division of Tourism for the Promote Missouri Fund, and if awarded, allow the mayor to enter into an agreement. The grant is a 50-50 match capped at $100,000 of reimbursement, and we just received word June 1st, by we I mean Megan, just received word June 1st that they would be able to apply for more than one section. Each of these items were already planned for in their budget. So their request is to council to approve to submit a grant application, and if approved, allow the mayor to enter into an agreement with the Missouri Division of Tourism for up to the amount of $100,000.
There a motion to approve that?
Okay.
Motion is second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion's carried. Thank you. Andy Dorian, Director of Central Services. Looks like you only have one item. What is going on?
Slacking. Just wait till the next meeting.
Okay. I'll look forward to it.
So welcome to the Wild West of purchasing vehicles in 2022. So we were alerted kind of very, very quickly that a slot was opening up for a one-ton truck. So we jumped on that. We had it budgeted for this next budget. So Don Brown Chevrolet has the state bid, and Woody's has the other portion of the truck. So they have cabin chassis. Woody's has snowplow accessories. So this is turnkey, all kit and caboodles. Don Brown is holding a spot for us, pinning tonight. If not, they'll release it to someone else. What we've been told is it's probably not another slot opening for another year. So
Totally fair.
yeah. So this is for $75,671 for another one-ton snowplow truck.
Okay. And you did mention this is a item that you have in your budget.
It is budgeted for this upcoming budget year. Yep.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
Motion is second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you, Mayor.
Yeah, I wouldn't wait till morning.
No. What I will add, the truck that we approved for the Parks Department, that got nixed. The cycle, they ran out of trucks, and so we are going to round 2, option B or C here. So it's that's just how it is right now. As you know, it's kind of tough.
Difficult. Okay. Thank you, Andy. We'll come back again to City Manager Lisa Peck.
Good evening. With the retirement of Chief Davis, a 4-person panel comprised of the Director of Central Services, the Director of Tourism, the Fire Chief, and myself conducted interviews with internal candidates to fill the position. There were 2 internal candidates, and both candidates had their strengths, but the panel unanimously agreed on recommending Lieutenant Jacob Naki for the position. Lieutenant Naki has a master's degree in justice administration and a bachelor's degree in criminal justice, and his training and background includes special response team training and mediological death investigator school. He has served as field training officer, mobile forensics investigator, detective, narcotics investigator, special response team leader, and past president of the Fraternal Order of Police. He has been a member of the force for 16 years. Filling the police chief position requires the consent of the city council per charter, and therefore I would like to put forth Jacob Naki for this position.
Make a motion to appoint Lieutenant Naki as police chief.
Second.
A motion is second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Your appointment's approved. Lieutenant Naki, Chief, congratulations.
a good day for Hannibal.
Your next item.
Okay, so the filling of the finance director position requires the consent of the city council also per the charter. I would like to put forth Bianca Quinn for this position in addition to her current duties. So she would still continue with her current duties and then add on some of the finance director position duties. With the reworking of administrative roles resulting, I'll try saying that fast once or twice. In the creation of a fiscal management position, the duties of the finance director are less than those of a full-time position at this point, we believe. So furthermore, in her current role as HPD management assistant, Bianca already handles many similar functions for the police department, including assisting with the preparation of their annual budget, responsibility for multiple department audits, tracking department expenditures, report potential issues, deviations, responsible for department payroll, including creating and maintaining the police pay plan, responsible for all department accounts receivable and accounts payable, managing police grants and reimbursements, and responsible for all HPD reporting to the state of Missouri and the FBI.
There a motion to approve request of the city manager?
So move.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion's carried.
Thank you. And
lastly,
finally, I have before you, I would like to put forth the reappointment of John Ortworth for an additional 4-year term to the Hannibal Board of Public Works to expire in July of 26.
okay, this is the first reading. You'll bring that back to the next meeting for vote, correct? Okay. Is that everything this evening?
I think it is.
All right. Okay, council, at this time under my name, for a first reading, putting forward Councilman Jeff Veach and Councilman Darrell McCoy to serve on the Roadway Commission. This is one of the vital parts of our community that requires input from the council as they gather information from our citizens on importance of projects and directions for improvements therein. So I will be coming back at the next meeting with a voice vote for those two. Also, I have before you Hannibal Regional Economic Development Board. For a first reading, I would like to put forth Mayor Pro Tem Mike Dobson and Councilman Charlie Phillips to serve on the North Hannibal Regional Economic Development Board. With the experience of the Mayor Pro Tem already being in attendance of these meetings and the passion and also knowledge that our new Councilman Charlie Phillips possesses, I feel these two councilmen would be very important parts and the proper tools to serve on this. So I will be coming back to the next meeting for a voice vote on those as well. For the Employee Benefit Trust Board, for a first reading, placing before you Andy Dorian for a 3-year term that starts 6/22 of 22. This is a first reading. Obviously, I'll be back again the next council meeting for a voice vote on that. Also, putting forward Beverly Stewart for a reappointment for a 3-year term starting 6/22 of 22 for the same Employee Benefit Trust Board. And also now for the Library Board, I'm placing forth Laura Judlow, Gordon Ibsen, and Raymond Lee. Again, first readings for members to serve on our Library Board. These are citizens at large, which I feel is an important aspect also to the municipal government that we have citizens at large serve on some of our boards. Again, I'll be coming back to to you at the next meeting for a voice vote on those. All right. The last one that's under my name will be presented by the city manager.
Oh, wait, no, wait. Are you talking about?
Here?
No.
No, I'll take.
Wait, where are you at?
No.
Because I'm talking about this.
Oh, you're going to take that.
I'm going to take this, because he's not here, and I'm just going to explain it's a second reading.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you
That's
not have
nice.
that?
That's nice. My agenda does not include.
Okay, okay. Do you just want me
Well,
to?
the page is cut off. So.
We also, there was an amendment to the agenda and we had to
sent that
repost.
out. Yes.
Okay.
Because that was inadvertently omitted. There was a second reading.
That's all I
that-
was going to say,
that was-
so you go right ahead.
Oh, Mayor, there was a second reading that was inadvertently omitted from the original agenda. We did repost that, so we are valid to do it. It is the second reading on the approval of acceptance of Timberview Terrace subdivision.
And Mike Murphy does not need to present that because it was presented at the last meeting. It's just a second reading.
Correct.
Second reading, and that's
Oh, yeah.
after you've scratched over that.
Yeah.
Bill number 22-013 to follow. Am I correct?
You were correct, Mayor. Mayor Winter, you never not correct. I mean, my gosh.
Well, there's some people you could ask, and let's don't go into that one. There's a whole room full. I'll take care of it. Okay. So at that time, there's nothing else that I have to add. Next item on the agenda would be Jessica Rosencrantz, Fiscal Management Assistance. Second week on the job. Welcome.
Thank you. Actually, it's my third week now.
This will make third. Okay.
Yes.
You've completed 2.
Yes, I have completed 2.
Okay. So you have, 20 more years or?
Sure.
Okay, right on. Longevity.
25. You got me about 25. How's
25.
that?
I
All
like
right.
it. Great. Jessica, continue, please.
Don't commit to anything.
Hey, I left once. So.
Yeah, but you're back.
So I'm not quite sure what to do here. I haven't been to a council meeting before.
Basically, you are putting forth the budget
Yes.
that we discussed in the public hearing and that we had the budget workshop on.
Yeah. And these
And-
are the appropriations for the various departments for the fiscal year 23 budget.
There'll be a bill to follow.
There
Do you
will
have,
be a
do you
bill
have
to
an
follow.
agenda?
Do I have the agenda now?
Okay.
She's got it.
Okay,
You want to do that?
no problem. Essentially, the fiscal management assistant is presenting the budget for the fiscal year 2022-2023 that we held a public hearing on earlier this evening. This will be followed for a presentation and vote of bill number 22-014 to follow, if there's any questions at this time. You're off the hook.
I'm off the hook.
Yes.
Okay, not now?
There's always next week, don't
Oh,
worry.
yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Phyllis Nelson, City Collector.
Okay, first, I'm asking permission to do my budget adjustment last year that I ask every year. I'm not moving money, I'm just adjusting some line, some expenditure lines were spent more than we imagined, and some have less, and I'll just even out the whole thing with your permission. And I'm asking that now.
So it's bill number 22-015.
This is
No.
just, my permission that I ask for every year. There's no resolution.
Then that,
We'll need a voice vote on
okay,
this.
so
And
I guess.
like you say, that's not
That's not the budget adjustment
budget
yet. That will
adjustment
come.
yet.
I
That's
will
just to
be
do it.
Bringing
Okay.
that next council meeting.
All right.
We're trying to get our ducks in a row, and some of us are having trouble herding ducks.
Authorization to do it. Is there a motion to allow the city collector to do such adjustments?
Second.
Motion as second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried.
Okay, next, thank you. Next under my name is Bill number 22015 to follow, and that is the payroll ordinance of the City of Hannibal to pay officers and employees of the City of Hannibal, Missouri for the fiscal year 2022-2023. That will be our first reading to follow. And finally, under my name, is resolution number 2412-22. Follow, that's a technology support agreement with Avenue, which is just a continuation, a year continuation this time around. Some time down. And that is a resolution of the City of Hannibal authorizing a one-year agreement for application hosting and technology support services between the City of Hannibal and Avenue Enterprise Solutions, LLC, a division of the Avenue, and the amounts provided attached here too. And that's just a
Continuation, we got to keep, okay.
Software vendor. Our software.
Software vendor. That'll be resolution follow. Any questions at this time? Okay, very good. Okay, council, will start with the resolutions here. And before us, resolution 2412-22. I need a motion to have the clerk give this read this resolution and call the roll for adoption.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried.
Resolution number 2412-22, a resolution of the City of Hannibal authorizing a one-year agreement for application hosting and technology support services between the City of Hannibal and Avenue Enterprise Solutions, a division of Avenue, in the amounts provided for in the attached contract. Councilmembers Phillips,
Yes.
Welch,
Yes.
McCoy,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Dobson.
Yes.
And Mayor Hark.
Yes. I declare resolution 2412-22 duly approved and adopted on this day. We now have before us bill number 22-013. I need a motion to have the clerk of this bill a second and final reading and call the roll for adoption.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried.
Bill number 22-013, an ordinance of the City of Hannibal approving and accepting the final part of Timberview Terrace subdivision being part of the west half of Section 24, Township 57 North, Range 5 West of the 5th Principal Meridian, Marion County, Missouri. Second reading. Councilmembers Phillips,
Yes.
Welch,
Yes.
McCoy,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Dobson.
Yes.
And Councilmember Hark. Or Mayor Hark. Oops, I just demoted you.
Wow.
It's okay. Yes. Okay, I declare bill number 22-013 duly approved and adopted on this day.
It's my first day back since,
Since it's okay. I answer to anything but late to dinner. It's all right. We have now before us bill number 22-014. I need a motion to have the clerk of this bill a first reading.
So move.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried.
Bill number 22-014, an ordinance of the City of Hannibal approving the fiscal year 2022-2023 budget and appropriating to the various departments, boards, commissions, and agencies of the city government of the City of Hannibal, Missouri for fiscal year ending June 30, 2023. First reading.
We now have before us bill number 22-015. I need a motion to have the clerk give this bill a first reading.
So move.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried.
Bill number 22-015, an ordinance of the City of Hannibal to pay officers and employees of the City of Hannibal, Missouri for the fiscal year 2022-2023. First reading.
Okay, council at this time been asked to go into closed session. We're going in accordance with RSMO 610.021, paragraph 1, admitting myself, council, city manager, city attorney, city clerk, and I think that's it.
Motion. Session.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried.
Councilmembers Phillips,
Yes.
Welch,
Yes.
McCoy,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Dobson,
Yes.
and Mayor Hart.
Yes, thank you. For those in attendance, thank you for enduring this little bumpy ride tonight.
In all fairness, you were a council member first.
I was